Yeah. So what was that scandal?
Let me just pull up my character sheet here. Oh, it doesn't come up in here. All right, let me pull up my actual character sheet.
You should know this. You wrote it.
Yeah, but I haven't actually written the story yet.
No, that's fine. Just make something up.
Yeah, the scandal is, I believe, so. My brother has. I reckon that I probably attracted the attentions of a Drow Priestess of Lolth, and that I eventually, slept with her.
Ooh.
And she wanted to sacrifice me to the spider goddess.
Yeah. That's
And
actually that actually sounds quite accurate, because currently at the moment you and your brother and three other prisoners are actually in a chain gang together, tied up by your ankles, and
yeah.
you're currently digging in a sort of a forgotten tunnel. Uh, this chain gang belongs to the Underhold. It's a small drow prison in the Underdark. Um,
Okay.
and you have the fantastic sort of the honor, as they call it, of being under the purview or the watchful eye of a certain junior commander of the Drow, a Drow priestess by the name of Illvara Mizzrym.
Uh, Ilvara.
Yeah,
Does she carry a mini tentacled whip?
funnily enough, she does. She has this rod, and
Yeah.
as she sort of slaves and whips over you guys, um, telling you to, dig faster, you hear her talking about her goals of being the commander in charge of another Drow prison called the Velkenvelv, which is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
She says, quickly, you slaves, more digging. We must find this prison. We must find this tomb. And so on and
Okay.
on, you guys sort of dig, and there's a few other people in your chain gang, a few other drow, but there's also a few, I don't know, how do you say it, topsiders with you as well. Um, few elves, a couple of humans. Um, you see, there's a sort of a middle-aged gentleman. He's got this long grey flowing hair, and he looks sort of wizened about him. And talking to him, he sort of explained to you guys that he's been looking for this. He came to the Underdark actually looking for this tomb, of an ancient wizard of his order that sort of knew the secrets of undeath. Um, what?
So is he a Drow?
No. He's a human. He claimed to be a cleric actually, um, but recently he's been dabbling more in the mystical arts.
Okay.
Yeah. The other companion that you have is a rather large, tall human. He's built massively, strong arms, and he seems to be doing most of the digging. And you can tell from like his sort of loincloths and that he was a barbarian in a future life. These days he's a little bit silent, but he does most of his expression through like smashing rocks and that sort of stuff, and muttering about rumors of hidden treasure in the Underdark, sort of cursing his current turn of fortune. Um, Drin, what are you doing?
Um, well, I'm looking around. I'm watching them dig. I'm thinking to myself, how did we get ourselves into this situation?
Yeah, well, you you sort of turn and look at your brother, Elkfein.
Yeah,
What
and I'm
is and what
thinking,
do you say? What do you say to him?
I was thinking, man, there's a lot of better things you could have done. You shouldn't have got caught. You should have done the right thing.
Well, you could have taken care of that problem for me, bro.
I should have really. Yeah,
And
but
then we wouldn't be here. Actually,
that's right. It's one of the biggest mistakes
my
I've
bad.
made. But now I'm thinking in the back of my mind, what can we do to escape? What
Oh, very good.
what should we do?
So you look down. Currently, yeah, you're under the watchful eye of Junior Commander Ilvara. She sort of stands there in her robes, her dark spidery web robes, and holding this rod with these three sort of tentacles that sort of splish off the top of them. And yeah, she's quite dangerous as an overseer. So much so that really there's only her looking after maybe the five of you. Um, that such is sort of the impression that you get of her power. Um, but at the same time, she continuously loves torturing Elkfein. She walks up behind him and sort of says, "Oh, yes, you smashed those rocks, little man. You pathetic excuse for a drow." And she says, "But don't worry, I won't let you die so quickly. I will be taking you with me to Velkenveld when we find this treasure."
Oh, have any of my components with me, yeah?
Mm, no, not
And
at all.
any other guards around?
No,
Just her?
just her, just her. So suddenly,
All right. Well, I'm gonna do as she says, and I'm gonna wait. Where do we sleep?
you guys sleep on the ground.
No, but is there like a cell or?
Yeah, so you guys are actually a day or two out from um, the Underhold prison. So you've been digging these tunnels sort of down and through, following existing cave routes and sort of digging as she sort of holds this map. Um, and she sort of directs you guys to where to start sort of picketing through the walls and that sort of stuff. And you've been at it for about a week. It's been quite intense. Um,
Right.
Suddenly, your barbarian companion sort of smashes a giant sort of a swings hard with his pickaxe, and a portion of the wall comes down, and it enters into this small room. And you hear him yell, "I found something." Ilvara, she comes up to the front and looks inside and sort of, gasps, and then comes back and sort of says to all of you, "Inside now, fools, quickly. We've found treasure." What do you do?
All right. I go inside.
Yeah. So
Wolverine.
you're led inside into this small room, and the room's probably about 30 feet by 30 feet wide, and in the middle of it you can see there's this large chest, um, just placed in the middle of the room, and throughout the room there's a couple of quite large boulders, and as you all sort of move together forward, um, make a perception roll for me, both of you.
Sorry, good
That's this.
So yeah, so you'll roll your d20
D20.
and
Yep.
add anything that you've got on your wisdom perception modifier. So for instance,
So
Drin,
Okay,
you're
plus 3.
trained, so you got a +3. Yep. So how good are you? I can see like the character sheets from here. It's perfect.
So 12 plus 3, 15.
Excellent. And
I got
Elkfein?
17.
17. Perfect. You see a tiny set of pointy ears pop up from behind one of these boulders. What do you do?
I'm gonna walk up to the boulder, but kind of backwards to one else from seeing
Yep.
whatever's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll kind of motion with my hand behind my back to let it know that I've seen.
To Illvara, sorry, was that right?
I said I want to kind of back up towards where I saw it, but keeping my body in between and it so that she can't see it, and kind of motion behind my back to let it know that I've seen it, and I want to wait and see what happens.
Oh, okay. You hear a small voice say to you,
Do I recognize these ears? Have I seen ears like this before?
you can make a nature roll for me.
17 plus 1. 18.
18. Yeah, you recognize these as kobold ears.
Oh, kobolds. I love kobolds. So vicious. Okay. What's Illvara doing?
She's looking at you saying, and she says, what is going on?
I look at her and I say, nothing, my lady. Do you want us to do with the box?
Okay. Make a
And I use
make
my
a
deception.
make a deception roll for me.
That is a 17.
Okay. Just trying to find the. What do you mean there's no drow?
She's in Out of the Abyss if you have the hard cover.
Yeah.
Her stats are all there.
I wonder if it's not. It's not on the She must not be in the SRD.
Yeah, maybe not.
Because the only drow that's in there is one of them.
Well, she's a priestess. She has a very high perception.
Yeah. The books. Hang on, the book's out there. Give me 1 second.
Are we in an anti-magic shell or anything like that?
No.
Excellent.
+5. 16.
Aha.
She says. So what? Sorry, what did you say to her again?
I said, nothing, my lady. What would you like us to do with the box?
She says, well, open it, of course. And she sort of nudges a few of you from behind with the tentacle rod.
Me personally to open it, or does she want one of us to open it?
Anyone.
I'll go look at it and see if it's locked.
So as you approach the box, you look to the left and you see this creature behind the boulder. And then you look to your right and you see another one behind the boulder to your right. What do you do? They look at you and they sort of seem like they're a little bit afraid of you because you're a drow, obviously.
Yeah.
But they are also looking at this chest with sort of a fair bit of greed in their eyes.
Mm-hmm. I call my brother over. You want to check this box for traps? And as he gets close, I kind of, with my eyes to, you know.
So you give him the sort of the look.
Yeah. I'm like, look over there, bro. My eyes.
And what do you
eyes
see?
are going.
So Drin, you look to the right and the left, and you see these small sort of dragon-like creatures. They're weird. You've seen these kobold creatures before. They look sort of like small rat-style dragons. Let's see if I can't get a picture up here.
So I can, so as elks, can I call them elk? Yeah. So as Elkfein's brother.
Sorry?
Yeah, they look like that.
They look like that, and they're small, right?
Yeah, very very small.
Very small, and compared to us, how small? Would you say 2 feet?
Oh, yeah, I think that's about right.
Okay. So being brothers, we can communicate effectively with one another. So we kind of I sense what Elk is trying to say. As I approach, I'm sussing it out. I'm looking at these 2 creatures and thinking they seem okay. We can go ahead with opening the box, but if we try and open it, it's interesting to see what they will do next. That being said, we've got 3 other people with it, or 3 other beings with us. So I'm not sure. Should I notify? I'll signal to my brother. Do I notify the rest of the presence of these 2 beings or these 2 creatures?
I'm wondering
Lara is starting to look at you too suspiciously. What is taking you so long?
So her suspicions are drawing attention. So we decide to jump ahead and open the box.
Very good.
The traps, dear brother,
The trap.
because it might explode.
So
Okay.
You guys are in loincloths. What do you have?
Yeah.
Just your natural
Our
instinct. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so Drin, make an investigation check for me.
So roll the 20 again.
Yep, that's it.
6.
You don't sense the presence of any traps. Like there's no little like levers or anything like that you could sort of see.
Is it just a latch that opens?
Yeah, that's all it seems to be secured with.
All right. What can I do here?
Suddenly,
Something
Elvara
just-
says, "Fine, I'll do it myself," and she strides
Excellent.
forward. And as you see her come into range, she sort of flips the lid on this chest, and inside there's hundreds of gold pieces and gems. And from the left and right of her, you hear these little gasps. It's a Drow Priestess! And you'll roll for initiative. Dun, dun,
So roll for
dun.
initiative.
Yeah, so roll your d20, and we're entering combat as these two creatures sort of pick up their little slings and start swinging them around.
So 11.
Okay.
10.
Very good. So 11 was Drin, 10 for Elk. Oh shit. Elvara actually got a nat 20.
Yo, they're dead.
Kobold's got a 5. Excellent. Elvara looks to the left and the right of her as she sees these creatures like swinging the little slings and sort of just sighs and says, ah. And she looks at you two. She says, I could do with a little entertainment. And she sort of clicks her fingers, and the two shackles that are around, sort of tying you guys together, drop. She says, dispatch with these foolish creatures immediately.
So,
Drin,
as soon
your
as the
turn.
shackles... Okay. So if the shackles drop, we still proceed. Both my brother and myself, we work together as a team. We proceed after the first kobold.
So
to the
yeah, so
left.
what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
So do I say I attack, or do I?
What does your character do? What is he doing? What does he think of this situation that he's in? Are
Well,
there advantages that he's seeing? Are there disadvantages that he's
There
seeing?
is. So there's an opportunity here. The shackles have been released. So I quickly scout the room to see if there's an opportunity to escape.
Oh, okay. Roll an investigation check for me. Or perception, actually. Perception, yeah, would be better.
Perception?
Yeah.
6.
6. Yeah, actually, you do. You see from on the far end of the room, there's a small hole in the wall. It's maybe about 20 feet away, and it's not very large. It's probably only 3 feet tall. You'd have to sort of crouch to get through it. But it looks
See.
like that's where the kobolds had maybe come in from.
Okay. So, judging on the size of the actual hole, it's unrealistic that myself or my brother would be able to escape. I would not leave without him.
No, you could fit in it. 3 feet, 3 feet by 3 feet, easily doable. That's almost a meter by meter.
Meter by meter. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So there's an opportunity here. So the first thing I'd do is I'd see if there's a way to get the kobolds closer to that hole.
Okay.
So by throwing something at, can I throw something at them? I look around to find a rock.
Yeah, so to your right, you see a kobold who's sort of you can see straight at him. He's got a boulder in front of him, which sort of was blocking him from the front of the room, and the same to your left. And as you're doing this, you also see another two of these creatures further back in the room, sort of poke their heads around a boulder as well. And they too are also sort of starting to swing their slings.
Okay.
Can I just switch networks?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm having a lot of... You guys are cutting out a lot
Mm.
on my cell phone network.
Okay. Because I have no weapons, right?
That's right.
Don't worry, brother. I'm about to do some serious damage.
Okay. Can I So I don't know with these creatures, do they seem like they can overpower me with a physical 1-to-1 match?
You can roll an insight check for me if you want to know the answer to that.
Okay. 7.
You think you might be evenly matched.
Okay. Well, we know that Ravana has has told us to attack these creatures, and she was seeking entertainment. Take the opportunity to attack the kobold on the left to see if that does bring about some excitement for her.
Okay. So you rush to your left and strike at this kobold. So make your attack roll against it.
And this is again a D20 or
Yep. Yep. So your D20 and you'll add your strength as you try to punch it in the face. You can see it's carrying a dagger and a little sling on it, on its person.
Okay. So I rolled a 4.
Okay. And what's your strength modifier?
Strength modifier is 0.
Okay. So you swing at this creature and it sort of skips and jumps out of the way. Elk,
Oh, sorry.
what do you do? It sort of looks at you like Drin. It looks back at you and it's like, eh! And it's sort of confused.
So there are 2 of them?
Well, there's 4 in the room now. There's the two, the one to the left, one to your left, one to the right, and then there's another 2 that are further back in the room behind boulders.
Can I get all of them within a 15-foot cube?
No.
How many can I get in a 50-foot cube?
You get 2 of them. The one to your left and the one to your right.
Beautiful. Thunderwave is a verbal and somatic spell. I don't need materials, so I'm going to cast Thunderwave.
Very good. Okay. So roll. I guess that's a. What's the save on my end for that?
It's saving throw.
Okay.
And DC 15, I believe, is my.
Yep.
No, spell save DC is 13 right now.
Yeah, 13. Excellent. Dex, isn't it?
Constitution.
Con. Oh, -1. 16 -1, 15 for the kobold on the left. 11 -1, 10 for the kobold on the right. How much damage did you take?
The one on the right is pushed 10 feet back, and it takes 2d8 points of damage.
All right. Roll that.
And the one on the other one takes half damage.
Oh, okay.
So that's 9 for the one who failed.
The kobold on the right is flung backwards against the cave wall, and you hear him splat against it with a sickening thud as his sort of skull protrudes from where his skin used to be.
Damage for the other one.
And how much?
4.
4. Oh, so that's the one on the left that Drin
technically
attacked.
4.5.
Yeah, that Drin attacked, and you see him sort of get knocked to the floor, slightly dazed, and he stands up, and he's sort of bleeding from his nose, this sort of thin green ooze. He does not look healthy at all.
Right.
Excellent. Kobolds. The one in front of Drin sort of looks up at him and pulls out his dagger and wipes away a little bit of the green snot and swings his dagger at him. Ooh, with a 23 to hit, which will hit. and he does a massive 3 points of piercing damage as his dagger sort of slides into your side.
Who, Drin or me?
Drin. So this is the one that was in close combat with him.
Was Drin.
Yeah. From the back of the room, who have we got? We've got 3 of you. 1, 2 for Elkfein, 3, 4
Yep.
for Drin, 5, 6 for Illvara. 1, 2. Who was that again? Elkfein, wasn't it?
1, 2. 1, 2 is me.
Yes, yes. So he throws, he looses from his sling and absolutely misses you with a terrible roll of 3. This rock sort of goes flying over your head. The one on the back right does the same, but aims at Illvara this time. And that's a 15. And the rock does it. It comes flying down through and sort of cracks her on the noggin. And you see her sort of start shaking her head like she's slightly disorientated. She sort of started around, but she sort of looks back up and sort of and wipes sort of the little bit of the blood off her nose, and sort of just walks backwards in the room a little bit more and says, "You better get cracking, boys. I want these animals dead." Drin, your turn. What do you do?
Okay, so that at that point I've been stabbed and I'm bleeding, so I'm hurt. I need to take a step back. I need to get closer to my brother so that we can work as a team. So I seek that opportunity to jump backwards or.
So you take the disengage action. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you don't make an attack,
Correct.
but you won't get attacked in turn.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So yeah,
Great.
so you sort of do a little feint as this kobold sort of brings itself backwards, and then with the rest of your movement, you sort of duck back 10 feet towards your brother. Excellent. Elkfein.
The one that attacked my brother, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery, which has only a verbal component.
Yes.
So I will say, you think to stab my brother, but like the caresses of a goldfish. And I cast Vicious Mockery, so I need a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, fantastic. Wiz save throw at -2. 13.
That actually is my spell save,
Yeah.
so it doesn't take any damage.
The kobold looks at you and it's like, what is goldfish? It just doesn't. I don't think it understands the joke. But he looks back and he says, "But I cut you like fish." And he moves forward. And who does he attack?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, Elkfein. He swings at you.
Yep.
With a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
That'll work. For 5 points of damage.
Ouch. Alright, I've got 4 left.
Oh, no. My bad. 3. It's only a +2.
Alright.
And so now he's you two are sort of side by side, and this little creature is right in front of you
with it?
both. Yeah. And from the back of the room,
Alright.
the 2 kobolds there start throwing their slings. 1, 2, Elkfein. 12 plus 4, 16. Will hit.
On me again.
Yep. That's 5 bludgeoning damage.
I'm down to 1 hit point now.
5, 6. The other one slings a rock at Illvara again at the back of the room. And misses with a 6. Ilvara sort of starts cackling, sort of clapping her hands. Yes, yes, entertainment, entertainment. She says, how do you like that now, lover boy? All bloodied and bruised.
So
And
tempted to
Drin, it's your turn.
attack her. So tempted.
So the scene is, I'll recap the scene. So you guys are in front of this chest full of gold and gems. There's a boulder to your left, about 10 feet away, a boulder to your right. There's a kobold right in front of both of you, and maybe about 20 feet away in the back of the room, there's another boulder with a kobold sort of sliding in and out behind it. The same to the right. And in the far corner of the room at the back, maybe, yeah, 25 feet away, you see this meter by 3 feet by 3 feet sort of hole in the wall where these kobolds had come through.
Knowing that my brother's seriously hurt, I grab my brother and I pull him towards the boulder that there's no kobold behind.
So,
Do that?
so there's the kobold right in front of you, sort of grabs its dagger and looks like it's ready to attack.
Can I dodge an attack? Is that how?
You can take the dodge action, so that means when you move, it has disadvantage on its attack. Or no, or its next attack has disadvantage against you. But at the same time, this kobold is looking really quite beaten up. It's sort of dripping blood from its nose. It looks like it's on its last legs.
Okay.
You think you might have the upper hand if you were to attack it.
That's the case. I think to protect my brother and myself, it's better to take this head on and attack the kobold directly.
Excellent. So roll your attack roll.
9.
Plus?
+1.
No.
No,
So
just 9.
so what came out on the dice?
9.
So 9 on the dice, and your attack bonus is +3.
Is it?
Yeah. So you see your Oh, hang on, no. So because you're just punching it in the face.
Yeah.
So +1. That's right. Strength.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you swing wildly at this thing with your fist and miss. It just ducks underneath. From the both of you can roll a perception roll for me.
Nat 20.
17.
Yeah, very good.
+3, so 20.
In the sort of the dull light of the room, Ilvara's got these dancing little lights above her head illuminating the place. You see like this glint of metal out of the right corner of your eye, and it looks like it might be the dagger that was dropped from the kobold. So it's about 10 feet away to your right against the wall. Elkfein, your turn.
I think I'm not going to heal myself. I think I'm instead going to... So one of the ones who is in the corner, that's Dissonant Whispers, which again is a verbal-only spell.
So I guess it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
That's a 3.
That's fail.
It is.
So it takes psychic damage. That's 13 points of psychic damage.
So what are these whispers? You see this creature sort of...
It's a discordant melody.
It looks over at you and sort of starts swaying from the left to the right. And as it does, it sort of starts swinging its head back and forward. And in almost no time at all, it starts bashing its own head against this rock, and it just says, it keeps saying, "Music, music, music," and as it just keeps thudding and thudding away, you see its head start to just cave in, and its jaw sort of comes off and starts flapping about underneath it. And the other kobolds sort of are looking on in horror. In fact, yeah, the one on the right fails its Constitution save and sort of starts going and makes its way towards the head of the tunnel. And now it's the kobold's turn, and
So
the kobold in the back of the room starts just going, this is too much, and escapes through the back of the tunnel in the room.
Hey, bro, sleight of hand on that dagger.
Yeah. Oh, so can I take that opportunity?
You can move away from the kobold that's there. It will make an opportunity attack against you as you move away from it, though. But then again, you may want to risk it for the biscuit.
True. I would risk it for the biscuit.
Excellent. So you
jump towards it.
You jump backwards towards the dagger. The kobold rolls a 9 plus 4, 13. Oh, that misses you. Oh, hang on. Plus shield. Hang on. So I can assume you don't have a shield. Oh shit. Yeah, 12, 13.
He's naked.
Yeah.
So he'll have 10 plus his dex, so 13, I think.
Yeah, which is exactly what it got. All right. So it does. It connects with you. For that's not good. 6 points of piercing damage.
Oh, no, someone one hit point.
Yeah.
But you do have now in your hand a nice shiny piece of steel. Illvara, standing back there, looks at both of you and says, "Ooh, how delicious! If only one of you survived." Drin, what do you do?
Well, is this dagger similar to a rapier?
No,
am I very confident?
It's a dagger, so I believe it's a 1d4 plus 3. You are proficient in their use, from what I can see.
Okay. All right.
It can also be thrown as well. But
yeah, actually, and because I'm standing next to this creature, you'll get your sneak attack damage on your throw.
That's right. I will definitely throw the dagger.
Tell the story about how you do this.
That's right. So I see my brother. I know he's very close, and he's got one hit. Well, he's very close to being knocked out.
Yeah.
Sees an opportunity, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to give Illvara the satisfaction of losing my brother. So I aim directly towards the kobold, and I take my best throw, and I whip this dagger through my hands, and off it goes towards its direction.
Cool. All right. Roll your attack roll.
4.
+5. You get a +5 to hit.
+5. 9.
So that's a 9.
Yeah. So the dagger goes. You throw it, and it just goes right over the head of the kobold and clanks on the wall behind it. Cling, 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 and it looks at you, and just sort of Elkfein.
Well, I'm going to again cast Vicious Mockery.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have. Let me see here. Oh, I don't have it on this phone. I actually have an app that gives me all of the good insults. So I'm just gonna tell it that it smells like a goblin.
Oh, how vicious of you!
And yes, and so another wisdom saving throw, please. DC 13.
Okay. It rolls a 2.
2.
Yes.
All right. Well, it takes 1d4 psychic damage. It takes 3 points of psychic damage.
Very
Advantage on its next attack.
nice. Well, it only needed to take 1 hit point of damage. So, your dissonant whispers sort of cause it to sort of pick up the dagger and sort of just start stabbing itself in the ear repeatedly, like, get it out, get it out, get it out. And before long, it sort of lies on the ground, bloodied and oozing everywhere. That's the end of the kobolds. You hear Ilvara start to clap, and she's like, "Oh, excellent, excellent." She says, my boys, she's so broken. She says, "I can't have that." And all of a sudden, you see us move your hands in this sort of magical pattern, and you suddenly feel re-energized. In fact, all of you and your compatriots are sort of filled with this greater healing, and you all receive your max hit points. Now she says, "Let us look at this treasure." And she goes over and checks out the chest and is very, very happy with it. She says, "Excellent, excellent. This will be fantastic." And she points over to one of the what does she do with this? It's just really her and you four. She says, "We will come back for this later. In the meantime, I am more interested in where these kobolds came from. You see, there's always treasure wherever there's kobolds. Into the tunnel, all of you." She sort of snaps her fingers and your magical shackles go back up around your legs. Okay, so you guys enter into this tunnel at the back of the room, and all down on your hands and knees. The barbarian sort of barely fits through. You continue to climb through for quite a while. Eventually, you get to sort of a T intersection, and from straight ahead of you, you can sort of smell this musty breeze. But to the left, there's sort of noises of battle. Give me a perception roll, both of you.
Oh, nat 20 again.
Excellent.
13.
Yeah, so Elkfein, you hear what sounds to be like a hammer on a shield, and a female sort of dwarvish voice sort of grunting, and this more dark sort of sinister voice sounds like a male battling a female. What do you do?
Can we approach with our shackles on?
Well, you're there. You're tied to everyone else. Do you sort of, and you've got this tunnel corridor goes out to the left, and then it goes straight ahead. With your nat 20, no one else is actually perceptive enough in the party to have heard this.
I nudge my brother and let him know that there is fighting up ahead.
Why have you stopped? Illvara says.
Is the fighting in the same direction that we're walking?
No, it's off to your left. So you're at like a T intersection.
I tell her I hear sounds of battle.
Mm. And what about you, little brother? What do you hear?
I hear strange noises, but my brother's naturally gifted in
Oh yes, he is
his
gifted.
experience.
Very gifted. She says, "We will see about this battle. Maybe I can get you some more friends." And with that, she nudges you all down to down the left end of the tunnel, and it doesn't take long, maybe 3 minutes or so, to come into another sort of square open room. Yet in this room, uh, you see this small grey dwarf. He has this silvery mess of hair, and he's swinging this axe wildly, beating down against this sort of this female dwarf. She has a shield and this long locks of red auburn hair, and it looks like he's actually in the advantageous position here. Illvara sees it all again and sort of once again says, "Ooh, a battle royale with my favorites." She looks at you two and says, "Well, what are you going to do?" And clicks her fingers and releases you from the chains. The female dwarf looks over at you and sort of with these pleading eyes, but at the same time sees that you're both drow and sort of is like, The other creature, roll a nature check for me. Oh, you guys don't even need to, because you're Underdark citizens. This is a Duergar. It's a dark dwarf. And you know that these things hate everything. In fact, they're probably more like the Drow than any other race.
Well, the Drow and the Duergar have had wars.
Yeah. But as far as like subjugation and hating things, they're pretty close.
He fighting?
What do you do?
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting a female dwarf.
Regular dwarf, not a Duergar.
No.
I think I'd like to kill this Duergar.
So you guys have essentially a surprise round here. What do you do? Actually, no, you don't. So who takes the first action out of you two?
I cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay. On the Duergar, yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
Immediately. Because I think the other dwarf would be more useful.
Excellent. I believe that's a whiz save.
Yes.
That's a 13 plus 0.
So it takes no damage.
Yeah. So you see it sort of start hearing you, but as it looks at you, it has this sort of madness in its eyes. And it says, You can't make me crazy. I'm already crazy, laddie." And now we roll for initiative.
All right. 18.
Ooh, 18. Drin?
I got a 6.
And got a...
Just quickly, do we add how it says in our character sheet? Do we add that or no?
What did you roll on your die?
I rolled 6 on my die.
Yeah, and then your dexterity is 16, so you add +3 to that. If you look at your character sheet, you'll see it'll say initiative +3.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So I should say 9. Is that?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So 9.
Very good. Elkfein, you go first.
I will again cast Vicious Mockery because I've blown all of my level spells away.
Okay, it rolls
That's
an
all I've got.
11,
It fails.
and it fails.
So, 3 points of psychic damage, and disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay, very good. So this combat is maybe about 20 feet away from you guys. The dwarf, she sort of looks over at you, sort of quizzically, like, and sort of looks at you like, oh, maybe you think maybe she's sizing you up for potential allies. And as the creatures, the Durgar is reeling from your attack, she swings at it and connects sort of with her axe, and like you hear the wind sort of come out of it, and she does 4 points of damage to it. And she sort of gives you the thumbs up. The Durgar sort of stands back and sort of says, I've had enough of this play. And it sort of, you see it sort of clench its fists and go, hold its breath. And suddenly it sort of, from where it was, a medium-sized creature, it expands and becomes maybe 3 times the size. And it enlarges. It looks quite imposing now, and it sort of looks over in your direction. Drin, what do you do?
The increased size, I'd try to work out how far away he is from us.
Yeah, well, I said he was about 20 feet away, so now you've got about 15 feet.
15 feet of distance. I look around the room to see if there's any weapons or any metal or any rocks or anything that I could use that could be.
Okay. Illvara throws you one of the kobold daggers and says, I think you might need this. I don't want you dying so quickly.
Wonderful. Looking at the dagger and seeing the size of the dwarf, I decide to throw the dagger at him.
Excellent. So make your attack roll.
Yeah. Okay. 2.
What are these fucking dice that you give this kid, Trent? Like, seriously.
I'm going with it. I'm like...
And you remember those dice that you really hated me using when I was DMing because I rolled so high all the time?
Yeah.
I gave him those because I wanted him to roll high, and Pratik, you're not rolling high.
No, I'm the total opposite. I'm like, what's going on? So it's 2 plus 1 by the looks of it. So it's a 3.
This is why I'm going with spells that require them to make saving throw. I don't have to roll, but I've actually been rolling quite well.
Very good. Well, as you throw your dagger, and this Durgar sort of raises its shield, and it clangs against the shield and falls down, and it sort of booms. Oh, pathetic. Illvara is standing at the back of the room, and she just sort of shakes her head at you and says, terrible. Elkfein, your turn.
Repeat. Vicious Mockery again. Tell the Durgar he smells like an elf maiden.
Oh, your words cut deep as he rolls a massive 4 on his save. And
so that's 2 points of psychic damage.
He says, I'm a-coming for you next.
And he has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
Yeah, Very good. How much damage does he take?
2 points.
Wow.
Doesn't do much damage, but the disadvantage is helpful.
Yes, it is, and it will be. The dwarf swings at the Duergar once again and connects for another 4 points of damage. Okay. The Duergar, he sort of looks back and forward between both the dwarven shield maiden and Elkfein. Who does he decide to attack? 1, 2, Elkfein. 3, 4. It's the maiden. 1, 2, it's Elkfein.
So they love me.
He
I'm such an entertaining fellow.
He goes boosh, 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 towards you, and Eldeth makes an opportunity attack against him with a 2 and misses. No. Yep, that's right. However, he then swings at Elkfein with disadvantage. There's a 7 and there's a 12. So that's a war pick. 7 plus 4. 13.
It does hit me because I'm wearing a loincloth.
Okay. And it does 6 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Now, Drin, your turn. So in front of you, you're standing next to your brother, and you've got this giant grey dwarf.
What do I do next?
What do you do?
Can I yell at the other dwarf to throw the dagger back to us? Is that something I can do? Oh, nice.
That's what it looks like there.
Oh, man. Don't want to mess with that.
No.
So, yeah, am I able to yell across the room for the dwarf now to throw the dagger close back to us?
I'm just going to switch networks again. So
Yep.
if I drop out, be patient.
No worries. Yeah. So you can yell that to her.
Yeah. So I yell for her to throw the dagger close, or even try and hit the Duergar with the dagger.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So how does your character say it? This is the important. This is the role playing. This is where you say.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. So Drinbra looks around and yells to the dwarf and says, "You must throw us the dagger. I need it in order to protect my brother and to kill the Duergar."
She looks up. You make a persuasion roll for me.
Oh, damn it. Hold on.
Can I give her a sly wink to give him advantage on that?
17.
What was that?
Using my bardic powers, can I give her a sly wink to give him advantage on that persuasion roll?
Not outside your turn. What did you get? I heard a 17. Is that right?
17. Yes.
Yeah, very good. She sort of looks over at you and nods and says, "Aye, keep him occupied." And Illvara sits back and she's looking at you two and she says, "Ooh, you boys better take that Duergar down. He's quite nasty." Elkfein, your turn.
I will again cast Vicious Mockery.
Just getting through this by smack talking. I rolled a 4 on my save.
That's right. That's a 1 point of psychic damage, and he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Very good. The dwarf at the back of the room, she runs over and picks up the dagger and throws it at him with a 15 to hit, which doesn't hit. However, the shield, the dagger just sort of travels over his head and lands right at your feet. You see her sort of go, curses. And with the rest of her movement, she moves up behind the Duergar, so he's sort of sandwiched in between both of you guys and her. The Duergar. Who does he attack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6 being the dwarf at the back. 1, 2 being Elkfein. 3, 4. Ooh, it lands on Drin. He swings his war pick down at you, Drin.
Disadvantage.
Oh, yep. So I've got an 8 or a 19. So that is an 8 plus 4, 12, which misses. Nice. So
That'll miss him, I think.
Yeah, it does. It does. And so, Drin, you sort of, he swings his axe wildly over your head, and you sort of just quickly duck down as you pick up the dagger. Drin, it's your turn.
With the dagger in my hands, I go. He's massive compared to us now,
He's
so
large,
I go for
yeah.
it.
Yeah. He's like as
his
wide as
legs.
both of you standing side by side.
Wow. Okay. Can I attack his legs, or can I?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Wonderful. All right.
You tell me what you want to do, what your character's doing.
Drin knows. He sees the dagger. Drin sees the dagger in his hand. And, this is a perfect opportunity. I yell across again the room, and I say to the dwarf, "You must attack when I attack, and together we will destroy the Duergar."
Very good. And she sort of says, "Thank you. Your leadership has truly been an inspiration." And the DM gives you an inspiration point for your fantastic roleplay.
I am going to give my brother 1 point of bardic inspiration.
Okay. Very good. So are you? Do you understand inspiration as a
No, not yet.
So inspiration allows you. It's you can only ever have 1 point, but what it allows you to do is, when you roll your d20 for anything, it allows you to roll it twice and choose the higher number. So that's what we call advantage. Yeah.
Nice.
In addition, 1 point of bardic inspiration. So on top of a d20, you can add a d6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Once. That's once per day.
Yeah.
So does it have to be in that particular in the next roll, or can it be?
No. It's just, you got it in the bank.
Mine lasts for an hour.
Okay. All right. So with the inspiration, so now that I've got an inspiration point, I want to attack. So can I yell? So Drin takes this up. It's still my turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Drin, hearing that he's got the support of the dwarf, says, "Okay, we attack on 3. 3, 2, 1."
And then you swing wildly.
Yep. So the highest one I got was 12.
Plus.
All right. Wait. Yep. So you can also d6. So what?
Oh, yes,
how did you did you roll? Did you roll 2 d20s?
Yeah. Is that how you do it, or do you?
Yep. So you got a 12 on your highest one.
Yeah, my other one was 11.
And did you roll the bardic inspiration as well?
We're going to now.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can add that.
6.
Nice. So you're on 18, and then you add your 2 hit modifier, which for you should be +5, I believe. So you've got a 3 in dexterity and your proficiency bonus.
It's +5.
Yeah, yeah. So you've got way enough to hit this guy.
Wonderful.
So yeah, so
He also
your
gets a
dagger,
sneak attack.
yeah, that's right. Your dagger connects, and you come sort of up underneath him. So roll your damage now, as he's sort of taken by surprise.
So that's a D.
So the dagger will be a D4 +5, I believe.
It's D4 +3.
Yep.
4. Yeah, the top number's 4.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a 4 +3, so that's 7 from the dagger. And now you have your sneak attack damage as a rogue, which I believe is what, 1d6, is that right?
Yep, it's 1d6 at level 1.
Yep.
So you roll a 1d6.
Yep. 6.
Very good.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's 13 points of damage in that one hit.
Excellent.
Oh man.
So how do you want to do this?
I've lost all sound here.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you again. Yay.
So your damage is enough to kill him, Drin. How does he die?
Oh, okay. So I've come from underneath,
Yeah.
and my dagger pierces through. You can see he becomes limp. He loses all sense, and then he just drops to the floor with a big thud.
Yeah.
My brother and I.
Hey,
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
I'd like to add, as my brother does this, I'm gonna yell out.
Sorry, you dropped them in.
You're gonna yell. As my brother does this, I'm gonna yell out, "Kancho!"
Very good. Essentially Kanchoed him. Oh. Very nice. So from the back of the room, you hear clapping from Illvara. She says, "Oh, very, very well done, my boys. Very well done." And she looks over at the female dwarf and says, you will make an excellent addition to my party." And with that, she swings out with her tentacle rod and sort of wraps this shield maiden up and drags her forward. And within no time at all, she's shackled to the back with the rest of you all. Okay. I'm just going to go and get a drink of water. Do you guys want to have a quick break?
Yeah.
Yep, excellent. All right, we'll be back in just a little bit.
Okay, cool.